Hey everyone, hey Uncle, hey Travis, hey AJ, hey should I call you late models or Rob? I'm not sure, but hello, welcome everyone. Thanks for being here with me. I saw a lot of your comments from like an hour or two or so ago saying you guys are tired tonight. Wow, I'm surprised you guys like partied so hard for Thanksgiving and the holidays. But hopefully you guys all had good times and safe, fun experiences and good feelings and merry all that stuff. Mine was pretty good myself. I pretty much just stayed in with Angie. She made us a wonderful, delicious, like bladder friendly, of course, vegan Thanksgiving meal, and it was delish. Yeah, I just went light on, like, didn't have cranberries this year. Instead, went more hardcore with the applesauce. You can do that instead. Little tweaks like that to make it a little more bladder friendly for me this year. And yeah, yeah. Speaking of which, guys, yeah, I think I'm doing a lot better now. I finished taking my antibiotics Tuesday night, so it's been like what this is like 3 days now off of them, and feeling pretty good. Yeah, I think it's all cured up, but yeah. So, but anyway, I'm keeping it safe. I'm trying to eat a very bladder friendly, low bladder irritating diet for a few days. That's a good point, late model. It's like it's a you give a little, you get a little with the cranberries. Yeah, they're thought to have some. It's not. I don't think science is 100% on it, from what I can tell. They're thought to have some bladder infection properties. However, the acidicness of them makes them tough on the bladder. Like that's what you want to avoid. Acidic stuff is like on the top of the list to avoid. Like citrus and cranberries is up there too. So it's kind of So no, yeah, I went for the apples. Yeah, I'm eating all sorts of great food right now. Great, fiber rich foods. Like trying to rebuild my gut bacteria that probably is not as hardcore as it was like compared to a few weeks ago. But yeah, Angie made us a good meal. We just stayed home. Didn't want to like bother with traveling right now. Um, when I went driving Monday to the dentist, I had a regularly scheduled appointment, no emergency. When I was driving there, I go, wow, why do I feel so kind of woozy right now? This is like at noon. I had a really good cleaning. She said it was like one of the best she's ever seen of me. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe I did do one little thing. I don't think this helps dental hygiene. I thought it just helped the cavities, but because of you guys, when I wake up in the morning now, I make sure I swish with the tap water so I can get some fluoride circulating in there. I'm trying to swish with fluoride water a little bit more. So anyway, she said, yeah, I never had any bleeding this time. It was cool. But anyway, yeah, when I came back, I felt good. I'm going, I'm going to stay in. I don't think I want to drive out anywhere on Thursday. I just want to get fully cool. No, my mom actually had her caregiver had prepared a meal for her. I called her up after I finished my meal. She was still there, and her husband was still there. He was going off to another event, but she was staying home, just gonna chill. But yeah, we talked on the phone and everything. But yeah, she knows I was sick and recovering, and yeah, I'll see her soon. But she wants me to get better. So yeah, actually, I'm feeling a lot better. What was I also gonna say? Oh yeah, one thing I learned about my recovery, if you will, from this infection is something I didn't anticipate. Remember last Friday I told you for the first 3 days I was given some antibiotics that made me feel better, but I think it was because they had anti-inflammatory effects, but they weren't fighting the infection. So last Friday they gave me the right prescription, and it's an antibiotic that I didn't understand until now. It's like I saw the warnings like your tendons could get injured, but no, you have to take it seriously. My point is, I just can't go back to the gym for a while and play games of basketball or do sprinting because I'm at high risk for like the next week or two of getting a tendon injury. In fact, I was pretty much reading I should just go easy for the rest of the year. Like, don't play any games. Not that I'm ready right now because I've been sick and probably out of shape a bit. But like change of direction, plyometrics is totally out of the question. So for the rest of the year, I still have to recover as if I were injured because, even though I might feel good, my tendons are compromised right now. I didn't know there was such an after effect of certain antibiotics. Like the first one I was on doesn't have anything weird like that, like a long-term after effect. But yeah, the one I got prescribed last week and ended Tuesday night taking them. Yeah, I didn't fully realize. Yeah, I can't be my regular old athletic self for a while. So I could probably go to the gym and shoot baskets and stuff. Don't chase after rebounds. Just walk to them. Just pretend I'm really hurt. But it's going to be tough to train myself to just take it super chill, because I don't want to risk, like, say if I rupture like an Achilles tendon, which is it's the lower leg tendons I heard are the highest risk to have issues right now. It's like a 6 to 12 month recovery there. So I think I should try to take it chill for at least a month, maybe two, to try to make sure I don't get some crazy injury like that, which will like totally be horrible. Hey, Bill's here. Awesome. Good to see you, Bill. Yeah, I do hope my tendons are okay, late model. That's what I want to do. Just do, as I said, just be really safe for the next weeks. Just ease my way back into exercise. Like today, I went on a few walks around the neighborhood, walked to the market. Legs feel good, tendons feel good, but I'm not doing anything like stressful. Just even, I was reading, like, just even a little jump shot puts like 6 times more force on your tendons than like just walking or something like that, or doing a free throw. So anyway, I gotta be really careful to not rupture a tendon. But I read the risk is greater for people age 60 and over. I'm going, well, I'm not 60 yet, but I'm getting there, so I'm not sure how to take all this risk. But anyway, I'm going to take it cautiously. I don't need to play any basketball games. I'm glad when I went to the gym last a couple weeks ago, in the early days of my bladder infection, before I realized I had one, I'm glad I got a game in. I didn't realize that was going to be my last game of the year, So anyway, I'm glad I got one in. It was fun. And yeah, played a really nice person one-on-one. It was cool. And anyway... So, well, that's enough. Hey, Graven Babies is here. Hey, let me know if you guys see VLAN pop on. I've been thinking about her because of that high-rise Hong Kong fire. And I'm just kind of concerned. I don't know what part of Hong Kong she lives in, but looks like high-rise residential places. So, you never know. So, yeah, let us know if you guys see VLAN pop in. And if she doesn't pop in tonight, let's not think anything bad, because just life could be really disrupted for all people there, especially if you live anywhere near that affected area. So yeah, let's keep VLAM in mind tonight, and hope she's doing good. And good to see Bill tonight. And Bill, what time do the Lakers start at tonight? Is it 7 or 7:30? I know they're playing at Staples Center, but if it's a national game, it could come on a little bit earlier than normal. So let me know what's going on with that. I'll plan on missing the first half, probably at least the first quarter or two or something like that. Let's see. Yeah, Hong Kong fire looks so freaking horrible. Okay, it's 7 p.m. on Prime. Thanks for mentioning that too, so I'll know where to look, because I don't have a Prime app on my iPad. That's where I watch all my basketball games. I'll have to figure that out. I'll have to get logged in and get the security codes all dealt with. Oh, thanks for mentioning that. Anyway, your favorite time of the week too, Carmichael? Thanks. Hey, I want to tell you guys a big thanks. Since it's Thanksgiving, at least here in the United States, I want to say how grateful I am for you guys, your support, and just being cool, just friendly people I look forward to experiencing some time with on Fridays. So thank you so much. I'm grateful that my health is on the way back, it seems. All symptoms of bladder infection are gone. No more fevers or anything like that. My mom's still around, and she didn't get divorced this year. My wife's great and supportive, and we're making really good music. I have a lot to be grateful and thankful for, and you guys are part of the whole package of list of things that I'm grateful for having in my life. So thanks, guys. Tip my little hat band there to all of you for just you guys just being you. That's all I ask. Just continue being you. So thank you. So I don't know if everything with my mom's resolved, the late model, but it's a lot better than it was last year. Still a few little things to tweak and work out, but yeah, it's exponentially better right now than I thought it was going to be. Like, say, when I was talking to you guys, like, say, in March or something like that of this year. Black Friday, how'd you guys fare on Black Friday? I actually got a couple dumb things today. I back around my birthday this summer, there's a local skate shop I'll just go into, because it's mainly dudes clothes. So I got some pants there that were totally on sale, some pants that are normally like $70-$80 are like $30-$35. So I helped myself to 2 pairs. But they're just a little big in the waist, so I need a belt. So whenever I wear them, I've been wearing like this old belt I've had for like 20, 30 years. It broke on me like a few weeks ago. So I went back to the skate shop, but I couldn't tell if they'd fit. So anyway, I just ordered one on like Amazon Black Friday special for like $8.99 or something like that. So cool. I just need a belt. If I can get it for a couple bucks less because it's a holiday, I'll take that. But I needed a belt big time because the pants are a little saggy. And I saw Zero Shoes is having a Black Friday sale, but those Dylan shoes that I like, Peter, are still kind of expensive. They're still like maybe 80 or 90 bucks or something like that. So I didn't buy any footwear. I did upgrade one piece of gear for the studio. I have this giant MIDI controller. It's super old. It's for playing like, it's like a piano, but it doesn't make any sound. It just sends MIDI notes to my digital audio workstation. It's to play all sorts of, you could play piano, you can play synthesizers, whatever. You can play drums on it. That's what I use it for mainly drum programming. Anyway, I realized I don't need a giant 5-octave, full-size key, full-size piano keys that are, big and heavy and weighted. You'd probably like that late model since you grew up playing piano. 5 octaves is pretty good, but it's huge. It takes up too much desk space. I can't see some of the gear I keep on there. So I got a smaller 37 key mini size because I don't sit there and play piano lines all that much on there. I use it to just like program and tweak things. So I found a Black Friday special on a keyboard that's going to go right up there. In fact, I was so excited. I already removed my big giant keyboard that I hit all the sounds. I still have a little drum pad hooked up so I can do a couple sounds like, stuff like that.
I'm going to leave your words on the...
All that kind of stuff. But anyway, I needed a keyboard. I didn't mention too, my old one, it's really old, like maybe 15 years, and it's broken. Like there's something called a modulation wheel, which is basically it's a wheel you could hit to make the sound go woo woo woo, like control modulation sounds. Anyway, it was broken. It was stuck on, so I had to like take it apart, remove that circuit so it didn't do that. So it was on its last legs anyway. So I think it's about time. Santa got me a new keyboard to keep working on our music professionally here. So that was it. Yeah, some people, you guys need a full-size keyboard. But guys, I'm a guitarist. I really don't sit there, today I shall play some piano lines. I really don't do that. I mean, I hack chords and stuff like that, but I don't sit there, let's play some songs. I need 5-6 octaves or something like that to do it with. So anyway, yeah, I can see more of my desk already now. I'm already excited about it. I already just put the 5-octave keyboard away behind some sound panels here. Haul it out if I need to. I'm not going to throw it away or anything. But that's what I got. Yeah, I needed a belt and an upgrade to my studio keyboard system. So anyway, Peter, I saw that Russell Brand and Paul Saladino, Angie found it for me. They did some interviews together, so she linked it to me. So I think that'll be my next week video. I haven't even really watched it yet. She just played like the first 10 seconds of one of the clips. Like, all right, I already have my video for next week. Russell Brand and Paul Saladino debunk veganism together. So that, I already know what my vid's going to be. And hopefully you still have some stuff that you've been sending me, Peter. I want to apologize again. I haven't made any videos for the past 2 weeks. Last week, I was just feeling miserable with the bladder infection and just waiting for the medications to start working. And this week, just with Thanksgiving and everything, and I had a dentist appointment on Monday, it just really made it really tough. So anyway, yeah, he's bragging. I heard that how Lifting Vegan Logic, I think it was responding to that video, Peter, and it's like, or someone like, I'm vegan, I have abs, like I don't see how a certain diet. Hey, is VLAM here? Hey V, we've been I was talking about you earlier, hoping when you showed up, let me know that VLAM's here. We want to know how you're doing, if you're all right, if you're anywhere near the affected area where that high-rise fire is at. Just let us know what the situation is like for you, what it's like in Hong Kong right now, because it looks like a lot of people lived in those towers, so there's a decent chance you could have been living there or really nearby. So let us know what is up. Or did you say you lived across the harbor? I can't remember now, so let us know. Give us an update. What's that, AJ? Ryan, I need to send you the Guardian article saying big beef and meat companies are trolling social media and putting bits in chats. Putting what do you mean? I know they have a fund. They're actually, it's not well published, but it's been documented how they these industries contribute money to infiltrate social media, infiltrate influencers, pay them and stuff like that to spread misinformation and pro-meat propaganda. But what are you saying here? Trolling social media and putting bits in chats, just sending people to say crap? Yeah, I bet. Yeah, they have a lot of money to do that. But Big Broccoli is not doing that yet. I wish they were. And I've been eating a lot of bananas, Carmichael. Bananas are like the best bladder-friendly food I could find. They're like low acidic, tons of fiber, potassium, which was helpful because I was probably a little electrolyte imbalanced. I was feeling off for a bit, and that could have been it. But yeah, let's see. VLAM, thankfully the fire's very far from you. Awesome. Your island is off the southwest. The fire was on the northeast. That's what you said. You don't live on the main island of Hong Kong. Is that correct, VLAM, if I remember correctly? You live across the harbor or something like that on a different island, or like I forgot I don't know what the geography is like there, but you don't live near there. How about where you work? Do you live in the main part of Hong Kong, or do you live more like on your side, your neighborhood, for lack of a better term? Because I don't really understand how Hong Kong works out. Yeah, hey Bill, yeah, probably paid bots or something like that. If not bots, just paying people to just go in and comment. Let's see. But I'm glad it's far from you. Let's see. I've never heard of this person, Carmichael. Chow Shows has recently gone back to eating animal products. Got to help him back to veganism. Well, what can I say? Why would someone go from veganism to, hey, I shall eat animal products once again? I can't imagine how that's switch flips in your brain. Hey, Sustainably by Sam, thanks for being our most recent member to the Happy Healthy Vegan YouTube channel. So if you happen to be here in the live stream, feel free to say hello. Let's see, AJ, they are in the chat. You know what I think, AJ? I think they used the paid meat industry people used to come here like, ooh, they used to come here and try to say stupid crap about veganism. I really think so. And did you notice how all of a sudden they stopped coming? I was getting like a year or two ago, probably 2 years ago, I was getting them all the time. That became a huge part of this live stream. Then all of a sudden they stopped. And I think the reason they stopped is because I made them look freaking stupid. I showed what just complete nincompoops, what knuckle dragging Neanderthals that the meat industry pays to come here and try to debunk veganism. I mean, you saw they could barely string together a string of words to form coherent sentences, let alone present any kind of coherent logic or evidence to support any of the nonsense they said. So I think that's what's going on. Okay, Chow Shows. I'm not trying to sway anyone. I encourage sticking to veganism. Okay, I didn't see what you said there. So you're saying you were vegan and you're not vegan anymore? Is that what I missed out? Let me see if I can scroll up a little bit. Chow Shows. I see you saying something about taking B12. Let's see. Just catch me up. I scrolled up. I saw a few more comments from you, Chow Shows, but I didn't see anything about you not being vegan. So just I'll be looking for you now. I'll have a radar eyes fixed for something like that. So let me know what's up. So you're going to limit your meat intake? So yeah, let me know. Why are you not eating a fully plant-based diet anymore? Let's see. Okay, you're talking about late models talking about WYW. Who's that? Who's that? He says a health channel. Yeah, this is not a health channel, even though it crosses over into health aspects, but I don't consider myself a health channel. I'm not a health expert, a health professional, but I have been, doing this since 2013, this being this YouTube channel. So I am well your world. Thank you, V. I'm well up on, the science, the overwhelming mountain of science that indicates that plant-based diets are not going to kill you. In fact, they're actually, a sensible balance when they're said to be nutritionally adequate and okay for all people. Hey, Bloodlows, when you had your infection, your comfort foods were melons. Yeah, I was just really eating bananas. I'm thankful I had purchased a decent amount of bananas ahead of time. And then when I was ill and I didn't really want to go to the market, I was lucky. One of our local markets was doing a deal. If you bought like $80 worth of food, they would knock off 20 and give you free shipping, like delivery. It's like, okay, yeah, let's buy a bunch of stuff. So I got a bunch of bananas. Will we bring back the HHV water bottle? Did you ask us that last week? I totally forgot to ask Angie about that. So I'm sorry if we haven't brought it back. I will do that because it's the holidays. I'll let Angie know that there is some interest in the water bottle. Hopefully it's a product that's still available. So I will find out. Yeah, she's in charge of the t-shirts and stuff right now. That's her department. Good question. No, VLAM, no. Have I seen the Reddit AMA from someone saying they got paid to discredit veganism by Big Meat? Yeah, this is what I've been saying all the time. I never encountered a person who came out and said, hi, I'm one of these people I was paid by Big Meat to discredit veganism. But yeah, it's a known fact. I remember I did a video about this years ago. I have to go find it on our channel. It's buried in our history. But yeah, it's a known fact. The meat industry has a budget that they set aside to pay people, influencers, and who knows what now, bots, whatever it takes to discredit veganism, to make people doubt veganism, and appears to be working. So we need to get the potato and broccoli industry on board to get it together. $17 an hour to debunk veganism? That's probably more than I make for doing it as a YouTuber here. So wow. Hey Jalen, thanks for our first super chat tip of the evening. Thanks so much. Let's see if you have a question here. Should vegans give hypothetical sentient self-aware AI rights and moral considerations if they can suffer? Some vegans say no. I said what? I don't understand your question. Let me look one more time. Hypothetical sentient self-aware AI rights? You're saying like AI, artificial intelligence, should have rights? Like my graphic card down here that I have conversations with should have rights? I need a very compelling argument to grant my graphic card any special rights than say my CPU doesn't get, or my solid state drives don't get. So what's the argument for my graphics card having a certain kind of rights that sentient beings have? Because I'm not seeing it. I'm a skeptic of computers ever or having sentience, or even really ever becoming sentient, no matter how much computational power they may have, or how good NVIDIA graphics cards can be and all that. But anyway, yeah, give me some more. I'm not mocking you or anything like that, but I just want to see is that what you're proposing, that AI's graphics cards with large language model software should have rights? I'm extremely skeptical of that. Let's see. Thanks, Sustainably by Sam, for becoming our latest channel member, and for our second super chat tip of the night. Thoughts on non-intersect vegans like Kane? I have to admit here, I'm kind of like out of a lot of like people like influencers, vegan influencers, stuff like that. So non-intersect, like intersectionalism or something like that, and I don't know who Kane is. So if you can give me a little more clarification, and you don't have to keep giving super chat tips unless you want to, but yeah, give me some more clarification, and I'll try to do my best to answer your question there. Well, Trump's always doing something weird, Peter. I read yesterday that he called God, what's his name? Harris's running partner, Tim Walz. I heard Trump called Tim Walz the R word, mentally challenged. Like he used the little R word. Like, wow. On Thanksgiving, a day where we're supposed to be unified and everything like that. Like, wow. Anyway, I'm not going to make it a comment. I'm just pointing out something I encountered today in the news. So yeah, if he's saying that too, who knows? Let's see, Dajara. Who are you referring to specifically there? How could anyone trust a person who is vegan and then flips on that ethical position? I have a lot of trouble understanding how to flip that ethical position. How do you wake up one day? So, I no longer believe that animal cruelty and exploitation are wrong. I don't think animals have inherent rights because, for what? Animals are like rocks now. They don't have any inherent rights. No, they're not moral agents, or they're not moral, they're just not agents, they're not sentient. I'm not sure what it is. Okay, he did, AJ. I didn't click into the article too much. I just saw a little bit of a discussion about it on Reddit, I think. Like the really warm, caring, comforting message our president delivered to United Nation yesterday, to unite our nation yesterday. No, far from it. Completely divisive and threw out the R word. I heard it offended one Republican lawmaker so much in a state. I forgot which it was. He's gonna vote against like the kind of gerrymandering thing that their party's trying to push through because he's so bad, because he has a daughter with Down syndrome or something like that. But anyway, okay, so stated by Sam, you recently debated Kane, and I know he and others have ruffled some feathers in the community. I have no idea who is Kane. Tell me more about that. Do you debated him? I have no idea who Kane is. Please inform me. Intersectionality and shit. Okay, are you asking about intersectionalism? What's my thoughts on that? I'll give you my take on it. I think, like, on paper, in theory, if you look at it from like an academic sort of standpoint, theoretical, I mean, it's a nice idea. It's kind of beautiful in a certain sense. However, I don't think it's all that practical because, I'm very well versed at speaking out against animal cruelty. I can defend and debate veganism all day and night. And that's what I'm qualified to do. But I couldn't go out and give good arguments for other marginalized groups or causes. I mean, I just would give the basic, lip service kind of arguments because I'm not qualified. I don't expect people who are, say, activists for, say, maybe LGBTQ rights, just I'm picking one at random here, to be vegan. I wish they would be, but hell yeah, I would wish environmentalists were mostly vegan and they're not, so I can't expect people to join our cause, so I'm saying it. I support the fights and the debates and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't think I need to like learn on a similar level to defend all these different debate areas or knowledge areas. I just don't have the time or the passion for that. I'm a music producer, and that's my main occupation. That's what I've been doing the longest thing in my life, and I'm passionate about veganism, but I have only so much time. I can't really spread myself to fight for every cause. But I'm saying if you want to, it's totally cool. I'm not saying it's a bad thing or anything like that. Just do what you can, If all you can do is just be vegan, that's awesome, But if you want to fight for more causes, that's totally awesome too. Hey, thank you. Thank you, AJ. Your cult leader really appreciates the weekly super chat tips there. Much appreciated, AJ. Thanks so much. It helped. All your donations helped for me to get some really groovy groceries this week for my low bladder irritant diet that my great wife was so awesome to really like research and make the awesome food for me. Yeah, if you've seen our video from Thanksgiving, I gotta pull that up. I think Angie made a short I could pull. I'll show it. I'll play it to you guys later. She made some awesome food for us. I'll play that in a little bit. Let's see. Stated by Sam. Okay, so it doesn't make sense. Kane defends animals. I asked him if it is morally consistent to vote against human rights, acknowledging we are also animals. But I agree. Yeah, environmentalists, I really think should be vegan if they really think it through and think about the number one, or at least the leading environmental threats, the leading causes of say greenhouse gas emissions. It's plainly obvious that how can you be a true environmentalist that you're so while at the same time being so flippant and blissfully unaware of the number one cause of greenhouse gas emissions, the leading cause of, like, say, rainforest destruction. It's animal agriculture. So I think if you're truly an environmentalist, you have no choice other than, you don't have to be vegan. That means you actually care about animals. It just means eat a plant-based diet. So at least be a plant-based environmentalist. If we it's hard for me honestly at this point in life to take any environmentalist seriously who's not also at least eating a plant-based diet, because it tells me they haven't really reasoned through the issues all that much. And if they have, it shows they're really not all that dedicated to the cause of environmentalism if they just don't give a crap about the number one cause of animal of all these environmental ills, and they're just gonna like, oh, but just drive less and whatever. Anyway, this bothers the shit out of you too. Yeah, I don't know if it bothers me. It just makes me question them. How great of environmental activists are they? If they don't like walk their talk there, So anyway, okay, Bill, I think, are you talking about intersectionalism? I can, but you don't have to be. You just need to support those intersections. Yeah, that's what I said exactly. I support all the intersectionalist silos or factions or causes, whatever word is best for that. But yeah, I don't feel it's incumbent on me to like be an expert in each one of those, because I don't think I can. I'd have to like radically change my life in order to accomplish something like that. Let's see. Ooh, you guys are talking about horchata. I haven't had horchata in years, and homemade horchata. That sounds cool. Peter Kropotkin, am I concerned about the decline in the bee population? I mean, how concerned should I be? I have to admit, I'm not like, all that educated in that. I have heard there's been declines in the bee population. They're experiencing all sorts of troubles. And the little bit of research I did, I remember reading it's like environmental stresses, like things like pesticides that could be. No one knows for sure. When I was reading about, what's that called, the colony collapse syndrome or something like that. But yeah, I'm concerned because that's what pollinates a lot of our food. So yeah, that's a big deal if that goes, if they collapse like hardcore. Let's see. Hey, Fu Man Poo, I'm glad you can make it. I'm glad you're not too tired to be with us tonight. You told me that last week, Peter. Is that true? RFK Jr. came out with a new health guideline. He basically wants you to eat high-fat carnivore diet with raw milk. He really? He's saying that for, is it like some kind of policy, like governmental diets and budgets will be built around that? Or he's just saying this is my opinion. This is my good advice. I wish all Americans would follow. Drink raw milk and eat high carnivore or whatever. Because that is some whack crap. Hey, yeah, that is whack. So standing by Sam. It's funny when he was running for not running, but he was when Trump was running for the second term, and RFK was being considered to be part of his cabinet or whatever for health or whatever he is right now. A lot of people, I think right wing leaning vegans try to tell me how awesome RFK is going to be. He's going to help veganism and stuff like that. I go, I've never heard any talk about that. I think you're putting your hopes and wishes into him, because yeah, everything I've been hearing is like, no, a guy sounds like a freaking anti-vegan. I mean, he's invited carnivore people into the the White House for meetings and stuff like that. I haven't seen any vegans go in. Hey, Heartedly Tin Man Adonis, awesome, good to see you. Really, Bill. So he said chemicals in water is what's turning kids trans. Well, I would love to see the study that the peer-reviewed study in the mountain of science that supports that. There's something in water that's making kids trans. That's just a nut wacko hypothesis there. You better have some damn strong evidence, because that sounds like complete shit. And I don't care what his politics is. If like, I don't know, if pick your favorite. If Pete Buttigieg said that, I would bag on him too. Elizabeth Warren. I don't care if someone says complete nonsense, wacky conspiracy theory crap. I'll call it out. I don't care who says it. Bullshit is bullshit under any disguise. Hey, Chris Murphy, how's it going? That's awesome, Blood Rose. You signed a Greenpeace petition this week to help protect bees from over pesticides. I think, yeah, I told you a little bit I've studied. I kind of remember that being the number one culprit, the number one thing of interest that's probably responsible for colony collapse. Yeah, do people actually believe the nonsense? Well, yeah, VLAN, people do. A lot of people don't care about evidence. We've learned that in veganism, like the people that come here, to the live streams to debunk veganism, no matter how much I show, how convincingly and definitively I show what someone's saying is nonsense and complete just fabricated crap that they probably picked up from some meat influencer. They don't care. Facts are irrelevant. All that matters is that their opinion stays intact, no matter like how much evidence disproving their opinion they're presented with. It doesn't matter. Evidence, facts are irrelevant. Opinions are all that matter. Allison, you arrived at the right time. Why is that? Okay, Nikki Tofu Princess, thanks for looking this quote up. So from RFK, quote, "We're ending the war on saturated fats in this country. I never knew there was a war on saturated fat. I know there's dietary guidelines, especially for those who have concerns about high LDL cholesterol. Anyway, so we're going to publish dietary guidelines that are going to stress the importance of protein and saturated fats." Holy shit, are you serious? They're going to tell people to eat more saturated fat because it's good for you? Wow, every working cardiologist is going to have a coronary when they see that. That goes against all the credible science that I've seen. So this is what I'm talking about. This is dangerous to have people who believe in conspiracy theories and are anti-evidence based, having them be in power, because if some idiot like Paul Saladino believes stupid shit like he does, fine, he can poison all his followers, his young male wannabe alpha followers and stuff like that, Joe Rogan, but they don't like set policy, like dietary guidelines and shit like that. So this is bad. This is bad because that's how I think like a lot of like school lunch programs get crafted and stuff like that. So I don't know. This is bad. Misinformation is dangerous, and having it become policy is just it's just unethical and dangerous. Do I like Miyoko's vegan cheese? I haven't had any Blue Ocean. I haven't had any Miyoko's cheese in a long time. I mean, probably the last time I had any Miyoko's cheese, she was still in charge of her company. So I couldn't tell you what it's like right now. But I don't remember any particular flavor or type I liked more than others. I remember I liked them all back when she was running her company. It was great. But yeah, for all I know, they still make it okay now. But yeah, I have no desire to buy any Miyoko's right now because she was the visionary. She was the genius behind it. And, if she's not part of it and the new ownership doesn't want her, then F them. I'll wait for her to make a new startup or something. Let's see. Peter, a 27-year-old girl who was on nothing but fruit, died recently. So you're saying a fruitarian died? Holy shit. That's sad. She probably learned it from some internet bullshit person, I'm sorry to hear that. It sucks. It doesn't matter. Again, I don't care if they're right wing, left wing, vegan, or like in the case of fruitarianism, or carnivore, like those carnivore. I don't care. Just bullshit is bullshit, and bullshit can be dangerous. So that sucks. Yeah, she was trying to buy back her company, Sustainable by Sam, a couple weeks ago, but apparently it didn't go through, and some other non-vegan investor got it and didn't want the founder and genius to come back. I guess, a lot of people are just bean counters. I don't know why they want to buy these companies and they think they know better and they can do better when all they end up doing is worsening the company, like cheapening ingredient. You know how things get when a takeover happens, things usually get worse. Bean counters are in charge, quality and visionary stuff. Those aren't ideals of the company anymore. It's all about just trying to squeeze some kind of profits out of it. So, unless it changed, guys, let me know if I'm out of date now. But that was the last I heard. She wasn't able to buy it back. Some non-vegan people bought it, and they don't care to have her back. So, F them. You know, if you don't want the visionary back who made the company so great, brought her original recipes, or revolutionary recipes, if you don't want her back, part of it, I'm not going to support it. You know, I don't want some meat-eating asshole that just thinks they know better, that just thinks, oh, I'm just going to make Miyoko's good. Fuck with Miyoko's. Sorry all my language. It really just pisses me off. Okay, AJ, thank you. So the Reddit Ask Me Anything and Guardian article said Big Beef pays people to say veganism ruined their health. Yeah, absolutely. I think I've pondered that a few times when I'm responding to some of these people and they're why I'm no longer vegan videos or whatever, like how it ruined their health. They go, what are you talking about? This doesn't happen. You make it sound like this is like something that's normal, and it's not. I think you're full of shit. I don't believe this crap, you know? So yeah. Hey, Big Beef, how much do you think it would pay me? How much do you think it would take to shut me up, to make me make some bullshit story, Big Beef? How much money do you guys have? Because I don't think you have enough to make me say, oh yeah, all them rice and potatoes and steamed broccoli and stuff, it's killing me, you know, it's making me have horrible health. That's why I got the bladder infection. No, it's because I had some vegan milk coffee that had gone bad and I was stupid and didn't spit it out. I could smell it, you know, I was stupid and drank it. Anyway, yeah, Big Beef, Fu Manpoo, they have a war chest of money they set aside to do all sorts of crap with. Some things are not as evil, but still stupid, like paying people, like, you know, I don't know, like, I'm not saying him specifically, but people like in the likes of, like, say, Paul Saladino and stuff like that, meat influencers to spread meat industry propaganda. And again, I'm not saying they pay them, but people of that type. And also now we're learning to just spread complete disinformation. Like, hey, I was a former vegan and I went vegan for like 3 months and it almost killed me. You know, stupid crap like that. So those are often, you know, not often. Some of those people are paid to lie about how vegan diets killed them. It's the Allison, Ryan. I got to send you screenshots of the article. I remember I talked about it some time ago in one of my live streams. Yes, I have talked about it. They don't come here anymore. I think they used to come. I think they used to send their $17 an hour people to come here and try to challenge me. And I make them look so freaking stupid that I think they realize, okay, we're wasting our time here. This guy really knows what he's talking about. He knows it so well that he can instantly spot the complete BS that we're feeding these untrained anti-vegan paid activists to come and do their nonsense here. But Peter, I don't care what RFK Jr. says. If he wants me to drink a lot of lots of raw milk and eat high saturated fat beef, he can go stick a thing up his ass. I don't care. You know, I'm gonna stay vegan. I don't give a shit what he says, because he's full of shit, and his advice goes against science. It goes against all that's known in cardiology about what constitutes a heart healthy diet. I want to live a long time without getting like clogged veins and a heart attack and not be able to care for myself. I know I'm making a bigger deal about it than it was, but having this bladder infection the past couple of weeks was really kind of sobering in a sense, because I haven't been sick really as an adult. I mean, aside from stupid things like basketball injuries, like, you know, twisting an ankle, sprained finger, you know, serious ones I had to go get, seek, treatment and therapy for. But aside from those like sports related things, I've never had anything go wrong. It was like a sobering thing. Like, and I was sitting there like, oh, I don't feel good. Like, wow, how are we going to get stuff? What if I had to go somewhere and take care of something? You know, it's like, how are we going to get food? Anyway, I realized they're really common, and I was making a bigger deal about it than it was, but it was like, it made me realize, guys, seriously, like, wow, I can get sick, you know. I mean, I knew that all along, but the reality of it, it's like, holy shit, you know. That's why I'm trying to eat in a healthy way and take care of myself, because you don't have to do that as a vegan. The animals don't care; they just don't want you to eat them. Like I said, you could eat beer and drink beer and eat just junk food all day and call yourself a vegan. But that's not what I want to do. I don't have close family. I don't have brothers and sisters. I don't have kids. All I have is Angie. You know, we have to look out for ourselves into old age, and even now we take care of ourselves. So I want to stay as healthy as I possibly can. I forgot what my point was, but yeah, I'm not going to go follow some stupid RFK diet and increase my risk of heart disease. That's why I met with a vegan cardiologist to figure out how to proceed with the rest of my life. Knowing that I have some kind of, genetic disposition to have a slightly higher LDL cholesterol than someone who doesn't have that predisposition. Just total cholesterol. I was told I could never, ever, even when I was fruitarian raw, I couldn't even get it below 150, which, like Dr. Esselstyn said, everyone should be able to do that. Well, he didn't talk about people whose genetics make that really not all that possible. So anyway, yeah, no bro science for me. That's why it's good to know like what's true, like what's evidence-based, what can be supported by the actual studies and what can't. Well, I didn't get it down to 150. That would have been great. The lowest I ever think I got, I have to look, it was either in the 160s or 170s, somewhere about that. That was the lowest I ever got my total cholesterol ever. And I see people like Mike the Vegan, yeah, mine's at 110 or 100. I couldn't do that. There's no way I could eat any cleaner. I had no processed food, nothing. So anyway, my point is, yeah, that's why I'm glad I have the mental capability, the tools to be able to identify bullshit misinformation like what RFK is saying about, yeah, saturated beef, we need to eat more of it. No, the science says if you're actually concerned about the leading cause of death, heart disease, having saturated fat, and it's not just a meat thing, just having coconut oil, which is high in saturated fat. I heard that could even possibly be worse than meat as far as like quickly and effectively raising your LDL cholesterol, your bad cholesterol, the one that is associated with heart disease. So it's not just a war against meat; it's also a plant thing too. There's plant things to avoid too if you're concerned about that. Anyway, what's that, Poo Man Poo? Other than savage constipation, you're rocking. Glad to hear that you're rocking, except for the constipation situations, Poo Man Poo. Allison, but trust me, it's supposed to be a good thing. Mostly means like you stick to your values based on common sense and honesty. What's that, Bill? You have at least 7 diseases, and one for sure is killing me. There's so much more than food involved in health, but we should all start somewhere. I don't make it try to sound like food is the only thing that's the only factor. There's other things, genetic factors, environmental factors, lifestyle factors. Just do you smoke? Do you drink, booze all the time? There's so many things, that can, impact your health positively or negatively. But yeah, diet is a great place to start, and just good lifestyle practices, and I include exercise. Being active is part of lifestyle practices. But yeah, so yeah, I'm trying my best. But Ryan, should we listen to the health professionals? Well, good question, Carmichael. It depends. Health professionals aren't necessarily trained in science and research. I mean, they're trained in their specialties, their areas of practice, whatever that may be. Not all of them care about the studies and research, and so I'm saying not all health professionals are equally knowledgeable and able to speak about what constitutes healthy lifestyle and healthy eating. Like your average doctor hasn't had that much training in nutrition. They're probably not aware of the studies involved in like say how saturated fat and LDL cholesterol are number one factors in like heart disease. That's why you want to go to a specialist. Yeah, a heart disease specialist, especially one that keeps up on the research, will know that shit really well. They have to. But if you just go to like an emergency room doctor or general practitioner, the odds are they probably won't know. So not all health professionals are equally able to speak about all different aspects of health. It's a really wide, broad topic. What's that, Peter? Yeah, how's AJ doing? I haven't heard. I thought about AJ while I was sick too. Like, wow, all those Gen Xers, man. It's like we're at that age now. We got to really be careful. Let's see, Peter, what's that? Did I hear that Dr. Kim Berry says? What did he say? I'm sure he said something totally unprovable and unscientific, that no amounts of meat or processed meat have has any link whatsoever to cancer. Well, is he a specialist? Again, he's a rural country doctor of some kind. I thought he was like a general practitioner or something like that. Again, not speaking bad of him, but how would he know? He's not an oncologist. Do you think he really understands the intricacies of cancer research? He's probably just cherry-picked a few studies that make him, feel good about his carnivore diet. But I wouldn't take cancer and diet advice from someone like that. Don't take it from me either, I'm not qualified, and even though he's a medical doctor, he's no more qualified than I am. I would look to a person who specialized in oncology research and let him or her tell you if there's any studies on that. I'm sure we could probably Google it and find some already and disprove them just like that. That's a great thing about Google. If someone makes a claim like that, especially when they make an absolute claim like all or none, like there exists no studies that link meat with cancer. Well, actually there are. Why do you think the World Health Organization said that meat as a group one processed meat's a group 1 carcinogen, which Dr. Berry just said this doesn't happen, and red meat's a group 2A. They just didn't sit there and think like, let's go out and have a debate on the street with random people. No, they looked at the scientific evidence, the existing research, and came to their opinions based on evidence, based on peer-reviewed studies and the best information available. So that alone disproves what he said. So anyway, Fu Man Poo, your blood work is great, just cannot poop lately. Speaking of blood work, since I just got through this bladder thing, I haven't gone to the doctor for like a checkup and blood and stuff like that. So I have a whole new insurance system now, like new group I'm working with. I'm not sure how it's going to work out, but yeah, I'm going to go. I scheduled an appointment during all my bladder thing. I'm going to make sure, so I'm going to have a checkup after all this, make sure everything's cool. So yeah, next in January. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get another blood test and a blood video. So I haven't had one for a few years, but yeah, maybe it's time for another blood test video. We'll see. Hey Giovanni, what do you want us to talk about? Have I seen that Reddit post going on that somebody admitting that they were being paid to say things online against vegans? Yeah, we were just talking about that. I go, no surprise, because as I said, I know the meat industries have a budget, a fund set aside for misinformation, all that stuff. People just trolling the internet, posts, influencers, pro meat influencers. So yeah. Okay, late model, that's good for you. Get it done yearly. You're getting your physical in January as well. Awesome. Get your tests yearly. I haven't gone since I was doing my work with my vegan cardiologist, like 2-3 years ago now. So it's about time. Carmichael, am I looking for people to debunk veganism tonight? I've learned now to not look for it. I've looked at that's why I changed the titles of my Friday live stream starting last week. I go, fuck it, I had all these titles. Hey, debunk veganism, they weren't coming, and I like, F it, if they're not coming because they're scared, because the meat industry is too afraid to send their stupid paid trolls, because I easily disprove their nonsense and easily. Anyway, I was it's not even try to attract them. I think even maybe not even mention them in the title makes them want to come more, maybe, if they're not a paid meat industry troll, because they think, oh, they're coming to break up this happy gathering of happy vegans. But anyway, no, I'm not really looking for someone to come and debunk it, but if they come, cool, whatevs, we'll see if they can play by the simple rules we have of being civil. We'll see. What's that, Fu Man Poo? You take steroids? Is it for getting jacked, or is it for a medical situation? Let's see. Hey Heidi, genetics and genetic. What were we talking about there? Let's see. What argument is that, Bill? You missed the minutes with the but plants what? But plants have feelings, but plants feel pain, but plants are sentient. All those that family of arguments there, the plants rights activists, that Joe Rogan and all these nonsense. It just shows you, yeah, they end up becoming plants rights activists, or Piers Morgan's case, bee rights activists. Yeah, yeah, you know they don't give a shit about the plants or the bees. You know, if they did, they'd give a shit about like animals, you know, which are even higher on the sentience hierarchy. I mean, come on, if you really were a plant activist, you wouldn't be able to do shit. I mean, how could you know if you were always concerned about harming a plant? I mean, you couldn't have a yard, you couldn't mow your lawn or anything like that. Anyway, avocado rights activist. Yeah, Uncle, that's Piers Morgan there. The rights of avocados, the bees and the avocados. Have you ever tried a tofurkey roast? I think I've tried most of their products over the years, but I haven't really got too much in the way of tofurkey lately. I think maybe once or twice this year I got some of their sliced meaty things, you know, like deli meat to like make a sandwich or something like that, but that's pretty rare. Almonds, yeah, I tell you, well, Bill, I wasn't even eating much almonds until I saw what a dick that Piers Morgan was about vegans eating all the almonds or something like that. Like we're responsible for all the bad farming practices involved in all of farming, but avocados and almonds in particular, and bread making too, for that matter. It's like, hell, if I'm gonna get shit for it, I might as well eat my fair share of almonds. So I eat almonds all the time. Yeah, I eat them all the time now. In fact, yeah, they're a great. They were a great food for me to eat for my low bladder irritant diet that I've been on for the past like week or two. So yeah, they've been great. Almonds and bananas. Some of my favorite foods are like some of the best things to eat. Same with rice. You know, you couldn't have nutritional yeast. Something acidic about that. So that's been a little tough. Angie's had to adapt some recipes. No real soy sauce or amino acids. A little too salty right now. I'm kind of easing back in a little bit, but I'm taking it safe. I realize, you know, my gut microflora is probably all messed up right now from the antibiotics. I want to not irritate what's going on down there. It could be kind of raw inside. I don't know. Just take it easy. Just put foods in that are full of nutrients, full of fiber, help rebuild back the gut bacteria without irritating anything down there. So yeah, just being kind of taking baby steps, being particularly safe, because I don't want this to flare back up again. This, you know, was not something I want to. I don't want to be taking antibiotics all the time, especially if it entails that I can't play basketball for like a month or two after that. That sucks, you know. So I had no idea that was even a possibility. But yeah, Heidi, it's you know, it came a little late. I was talking about that at the beginning. Yeah, a lot better. I finished my antibiotics Tuesday night. Feeling pretty good now. I haven't had any fever symptoms in like over a week. The urination's totally under control. And what was really bugging me most was just this sense of malaise, just not feeling good. It was hard to pinpoint. Like, yeah, kind of low energy. I just feel sick. Like when you hear that someone's sick, that's what I was. I just felt sick, you know. So I'm just glad that that's over. You could probably tell my energy compared to the last 2 weeks is probably a bit different, I would imagine. You know, so it's coming back. But I told you the bummer part was learning that the antibiotic I took has effects on your tendons while you're on the antibiotics and continues for weeks afterwards. You're at higher risk of having a tendon injury. Like you could easily rupture your Achilles, which I said could put you out 6 months, 12 months. It's pretty major. So I got to be really slow in like getting back into like doing basketball type movements, you know, sprints, change of direction. I got to ease my way in. I'm not going to play any games for the rest of the year. I'm just going to go next week. My goal is to go one day and just shoot shots where there's no jumping, just free throws or, you know, shots around the key where I don't get off my feet at all, just to stay in rhythm a little bit. But yeah. Oh, Bill, you going? The Lakers are going to play, huh? Yeah. Yeah, we hope we see you next week. But Bill, since it's a national game, and they usually bookend them back to back, like an East Coast game at 4, a West Coast game at 7, and usually they run late. I bet you the Lakers aren't going to tip off until at least 7:15. Usually tip off is about 8 to 10 minutes after the hour, so you could chill with us a little bit more if you want to, but you're just going to watch some commercials and some guys yapping about how good the Lakers are looking this year, because they are looking really good this year. Man, they are so lucky they got Luka Doncic, man. The Lakers look amazing this year. They got slaughtered by the team that won the championship last year, the Oklahoma City Thunder, but we were out LeBron. Luka was having a bad game, but yeah, like to see them play with all the big three guys. Okay, so what should we eat there, Bill? Remember, eat almond-crusted, almond-stuffed avocados dipped in tangy almond sauce. Yeah, that would give Piers Morgan a heart attack for sure. He just he would just pass on the spot if he saw any vegan eating something like that, huh? Oh, you're a Rockets fan, huh? Yeah, Rockets now, I think. Yeah, don't they have LeBron's enemy, Dylan Brooks? But yeah, Rockets are a good team. Yeah, yeah, you shouldn't be a fan of them. I like my local team, and I really think they have put together something nice now that could last for 5-10 years. Getting Luka in his prime was just like a gift from the heavens. Like, that was not expected. That was just totally left field. Oh, Kevin Durant. Yeah, he's like LeBron, a little on the old side, still effective, but yeah, it's not, yeah, nothing that's gonna like be a long-term thing to build upon. That's what we were all fearing in Los Angeles. Like, LeBron's 40. When he retires, like, what's gonna happen? It's gonna take 5-10 years at least to rebuild. Nope, they got Luka. We're already there. So anyway, yeah, Peter, I was just talking about that. What Kim Berry said. Yeah, that's easily disproven just by, like, say, the World Health Organization's recommendations about how they classified processed meat as a group 1, a known carcinogen. That means the science on it is the jury's out. It's decided. They're back. It's a slam dunk. The evidence is overwhelming that processed meat is linked to certain types of cancers, and red meat is a group 2A, a probable. There's a strong amount of evidence, but they don't want to say definitively. But they said processed meat definitively. So already Barry's wrong if he has processed meat in his category of science does not know. No, it's known. He just doesn't understand the science because he's a nice, friendly, avuncular country doctor from Tennessee. He's not like a knowledgeable on oncology research into nutritional factors that affect cancer. And neither am I, but at least I know what the science says. Hey, Hartley, you like tofurkey, lightly seasoned chicken, and their Italian sauces. I gotta avoid all these kind of flavors and seasonings right now. Also, one of our friends just gave us some coupons. We have to use them up by the end of the year for Impossible. I know a lot of people are bummed on Impossible, how they might not be all vegan in the future, but they're vegan now. So anyway, I gotta get me some free Impossible products over the next few weeks. Let's see, what happened to Dr. Sebi's son? All right, Dr. Sebi, you're talking about the old school fruitarian man. He had a son. Tell me more. Maybe he wasn't fruitarian. Was he raw or something like that? But anyway, let me know. Yeah, Angie said I should look for the meatballs at the market. So I'll get them next time. I told her, well, I'm not sure if she's thinking I'll put them in like in our pasta, but I gotta avoid tomatoes. Are like one of the worst bladder irritants out there, so I gotta lay off tomatoes. The rest of this week, maybe by next weekend, I can start having some Italian food again. Oh, Fu Manpu, you're so fucking special. Don't worry about it, man. You are. I just had to throw the Radiohead influence reference out there. Let's see. Uncle, what am I thankful for on the day after Thanksgiving? I talked about all the stuff I was thankful for, and you guys are part of it. Yeah, just vegans in general. You guys are the chill, cool vegans I like chilling with. Yeah, it's cool about the Impossible frozen stuff. Yeah, just keep it in your freezer. So I think we have like 8 or so coupons. So yeah, just put them in the... If you can't eat them all, just keep them in the freezer. Eat them over time. You like that, Fu Manpu? Awesome. Oh, what, can't you stop eating, AJ? Let me look. The Impossible meatballs. You can't stop eating them, huh? Cool. I'll let Angie know that. You give the huge thumbs up for the Impossible meatballs. Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to when my stomach's fully rocking again. Just getting back to eating some more fun foods, funner than rice and potatoes and stuff like that. I've eaten a lot of potatoes, and we're probably gonna have some more sweet potatoes tonight. That's probably gonna be our dinner. Is just stick some potatoes into the oven for dinner. What's that, Fu Manpu? When you win the Masters Olympia, you'll sport your vegan cult member shirt. You better. I'll be pissed if you don't. That sounds tasty, Nikki. I couldn't have the jalapeno hummus right now. That would really be a challenge for like my bladder, my low bladder irritant diet I'm on right now. I'm probably going to keep this low bladder irritant thing through the weekend and Monday. Start introducing stuff. I've been super cautious, like more cautious and safe than probably what's needed. But I just want to make sure. I tell you, I just want to just heal right and not have this crap come back. I haven't had any chocolate milk. I'm not gonna probably. I think I've learned from this too. That was the coffee, almond milk coffee thing that got me sick. I'm probably just gonna give that up. And in the mornings, instead of having almond milk, chocolate mocha, whatever that was, I'm just gonna have chocolate milk. You know, there's a little bit of caffeine in there anyway. And I really, when I made my little mochas in the morning, I would just mix like a little glass, like half of it with the pre-made almond milk mocha, another half with chocolate milk. So it was just really chocolate milk with a little dash of the coffee stuff. I'm just gonna just go all in on the chocolate milk from henceforth, and just enjoy some coffee when I go out with Angie to places. Soy milk and chocolate syrup. Huh? Yeah, I remember you told me about that. How you'll kind of blend your own. Heidi, I'm next to certain that was the culprit, because let me just give you a quick history. In the fridge back then, there was something really stinky. You ever have that happen? You can't figure it out. You're looking all around. You're looking through the produce, smelling it. No, it's not that. Oh, it's got to be this. No, it's not that. We couldn't find it. It was like this mystery. Then finally, when I was opening up my latte, my mocha, my almond milk mocha, I'm pouring it in. I think it's this thing. And I was stupid. I don't know why I drank it. So and usually I can handle weird shit like that, you know. In the past, I've had some bad food, spoiled food, and I was fine. Maybe I didn't feel good for a day or so, but anyway, yeah, I didn't feel bad. But I noticed a few days after, my stomach felt a little off, like it's just a little sensitive, like maybe I might need to run to the bathroom quickly. I don't. It never happened. Just it felt off. I'm really in touch with my body. I don't know why. I guess because I'm athletic and I notice the different feelings and sensations in my body, maybe more than someone who's just not listening to that sort of stuff. You guys know, some of you guys probably know what I'm talking about, but I noticed my stomach was off 3 or 4 days. And then I thought I was okay. Like a few days after that, I went to the gym that last time, played basketball, had a great fun time playing a game. And then a few days after that, I started feeling worse, like not in the stomach, but like something had shifted, like to somewhere else in my body. Like, shit, I think that bad food maybe is causing an infection. And Angie says, no, you're probably just, I'm glad I followed my intuitions, because yeah, I was definitely had an infection from that. So I'm pretty sure. But yeah, VLAM. I know cranberry probably has some bladder healing, bladder UTI infection properties. At the same time, cranberries are a bladder irritant. They're a highly acidic fruit. So right now I'm just playing it safe. I'm not going to have cranberries right now. I had applesauce last night for Thanksgiving instead of cranberries. So right now, yeah, since I seem to be over the infection, everything seems good right now. I haven't gone back and retested. I think that's kind of weird. I don't think people do that. But everything's feeling normal and good. I just want my bladder, which was irritated for a long time. I just want to make sure, I don't know if it's like raw a little bit inside there. I'm just trying to put foods in there that are low bladder irritant foods. So yeah, we learned a lot about bladder irritant foods over the past week or so. And Angie, I told you, has been really awesome helping me out. She's been eating with me too in the same way. Maybe on the side, she'll put a little soy sauce or Amino's Brags, or sprinkle in some nutritional yeast on hers, leave mine alone, but she won't cook with it. So I get a good, just a good healthy meal that's going to go down easy and not cause any indigestion or anything like that. And yeah, my stomach's been feeling really good. And I want to keep it that way. I'm healing though. The thing is, right now, it's at a dangerous point where for any in recovery where you feel kind of normal, but you're not. I've had bacteria like get wiped out, my stomach for the past week from antibiotics. It's different down there. My organs might be a little raw. The bladder might be a little raw. Who knows? The kidney might be too. I don't know. So I'm not normal. And plus my tendons are a higher risk of rupturing or getting injured right now. So, I got to be careful. Even though I feel I might be normal, I know I'm not. So I just got to wait, just be conscious of that. Tart cherry juice sounds really delicious to have right now, Uncle, but I'm pretty damn sure I looked that up over the past week, and no, cherries not right now. I tell you, I think I'm going to be a little more open come Monday to just slowly introduce more
Thanks for the tip.
these medium to higher risk foods back in, just slowly but surely. Well, thanks, Tin Man. Thank you so much for the super chat tip. Much appreciated, guys. So grateful for that. Thank you. Yeah, AJ, I never knew that. Not all antibiotics. I was on 2. The first one, no, it has no long-term effects or anything like that. But the second one, ciprofloxacin, look it up. It's associated with it's tough on your tendons. Even right now, when I was walking around today, walking in the market, I'm just trying to feel my body out. You know, I heard if you feel any pain, just stop what you're doing. Everything's cool. But yeah, I have to be careful about my tendons for weeks. They even said in some cases people have had tendon injuries a few months after stopping their antibiotic, ciprofloxacin antibiotic course. So yeah, who knew? I had no idea. Almost 60 years old, never knew that you could be damaging your tendons on an antibiotic. Shows you I don't want to get sick again. Drugs are serious business. They seem effective, but there's always some weird side effects. Yeah, that I have no idea how it works as an antibiotic. It also f's with your tendons. It just seems so weird. I had no idea there's such a thing. Yeah, turmeric was great, VLAM. Turmeric was a great food to eat right now. It adds in a lot of flavor, but doesn't have any of the bladder irritant effects of, say, like pure curry does or something like that. Curry, I should say. So yeah, I've had a decent amount of turmeric. Yeah, well, a few days ago, Angie made us a delicious tofu scramble with no nutritional yeast or any of her normal flavorings, mainly with turmeric. And I told her, this is fun. I like this. Not to say I want you to always make it in this turmeric way. Now I want to have both. I like her normal recipe, and I like the turmeric way she made it too. I think it was great. Carmichael, we're not going to have these debates. I know what you think about veganism or bivalve sentient. I always like to ask the person, well, does it have a brain or central nervous system? If not, you better produce a damn good argument as to why they're sentient. Even if they were, or not, like, why even eat them? You don't need to eat them. There's no nutrients that bivalves have that humans require. And secondly, aren't they like the scum suckers of the water? They just take in all the pollutants and filter them out, and then they get accumulated in their body. So why do we eat something that accumulates toxins from the ocean? We know the oceans aren't like the cleanest places in the world right now. And secondly, the oceans need to be cleansed by the bivalves, so just leave them in there. Anyway, all right, I answered the question already. What's up, Heidi? I remember with the medicine they give you to help bones with chemo, they have you take Claritin to help with the pain. Weird. What's Claritin? I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is. Trial YouTube moderator. You're here to audit our stream? Well, have at it. Ask any questions you want. Trial YouTube moderator. Your first consume is, I appear to be promoting veganism. Well, what gave you that idea? Is it that the channel name, or maybe my t-shirt, or the words down here on the bottom of the screen, or something like that? Let me know. What evidence do you have that makes you suspect that I might be promoting veganism? I can't imagine. Well, if you're really a YouTube moderator, I suspect you'd have some kind of extra privileges, meaning you wouldn't be able to get banned. So I think you're really close right now to my 2 moderators banning you. So you better tread carefully, trial YouTube moderator. But if you have a specific question for me, as opposed to hassling my viewers, which I really am defensive about my viewers, don't mess with them. Don't accuse them of anything. I know you're probably just effing around, but if you have a question for me, ask it. If not, it looks like Uncle got him. So thanks for coming, trial YouTube moderator. You really put the fear of YouTube's rules on us all here. We're scared now to be vegan. Isn't that funny? Someone comes here and says like veganism's a hate crime, yet they're hating on us. Funny how the hypocrisy doesn't like they don't grasp it, but they do. They don't give a shit because they're just trolling. Never a dull day in the life of a vegan content creator. There's always gonna be someone messing with you. Someone will always hate you, or at least strongly dislike you, not for like who you are as a person, or even necessarily for things that you have said, just for the fact that you identify as vegan. That's enough for people to target you as someone to hate or dislike. That's bigotry. That's hate. That's a hate crime, and that's just wrong. It's just morally wrong on all levels. So I hope you feel good about yourself. Claritin sounds like hair removal. Let's see if Heidi said during all that what Claritin was. Let's see. I don't see. Claritin is for allergies, but it helps with bone pain too. Huh. See, who knows? Medications are weird, right? He's preparing, that guy was preparing for RFK's new dietary guidelines. Good one, Nikki Tofu Princess. I guess he was, huh? I guess he's paid by RFK to come here and troll. Yeah, we are in a bit of a bizarro world here in the USA. We're in so many weird things, and now there's going to be a dietary guideline. Eat saturated fat. Eat more of it. The war against saturated fat is over because, there's no science on it that says it's not good for you. No, all that science that says it's bad for you, that's bad science. We don't trust that stuff because it doesn't fit with our agendas and opinions. That shows you how dishonest a person is. If they're willing to change their position, their scientific position, I have to say, based on actual evidence. People like that make you want to buy legumes in bulk. Here, totally. No, Carmichael, we should not be scared to be vegan. The only thing to be scared about are people that are going to be assholes too. That's it, Scared to not harm animals. No, just scared to trigger precious snowflakes. It's just so weird. People think they're all tough and crap like that. Yet there's people that think they're all tough and crap are some of the most precious snowflakey people in the world, because when they encounter someone who's different from them, instead of going, oh, that's interesting, they dislike you because it scares them because they're precious snowflakes. Yeah, legumes in bulk. Late model knows. I forgot all the bulk foods late model eats just generally, and all the stockpiles you have too in case shit gets really gnarly. I should do that too. Okay, what's that, Carmichael? Just off the top of my head, is there anything that I maybe miss eating that I no longer eat, or something I miss about not being vegan? That was true a long time ago, but one thing I really missed when I went vegan was oh, I'll never be able to have Cherry Garcia by Ben and Jerry's again. And sure enough, later on, they made dairy-free Cherry Garcias. I eat that all the time. And I also missed the fish food flavor, and they made vegan fish food after that too. So, no, that's pretty much handled. There's vegan beef jerkies and vegan anything you may have liked before. There's something now. If you miss, say, over easy eggs, the kind with the yolk that runs, they make the yo egg now with the yolk that runs. I mean, there's everything out there now. There's really nothing to miss. Oh, Cherry Garcia is your dad's favorite. Too sweet for you? Well, probably, for me too, because I'm a cherry person. I've said, cherries are my favorite fruit. And, I like Cherry Garcia and the Grateful Dead. So it's and it tastes wonderful. So for me, it's the perfect ice cream, except it's not that good for your health. Even the dairy-free, vegan one, is high in saturated fat. So I was talking about, I'm not just saying eating meat can raise your cholesterol. Eating saturated fat from plants can do it too. Coconut oil, coconut milk, all that stuff, super effective in raising your cholesterol. And thank you, EWQ123 for being a member for 42 months. Who is that? You've changed. Oh, it's Metalhead, right? Vegan Metalhead. So I didn't recognize you. I was looking. You changed your name, but your image is the same, right? So thanks for being. You don't feel great. What's going on, Metalhead? Do you have, you think, a cold or flu or something worse? Like, what's going on? If you don't mind sharing. If you don't want to, you don't have to whatsoever. But yeah, either way, I hope you feel better, because you guys know I was feeling like shit 2 weeks ago on Friday. I didn't feel that good last Friday either. But I feel a lot better, like 90% better today. So hopefully you will be on a path to feeling better too, is what I'm saying. It didn't feel like I was ever going to feel better too. I'm like, God, I just feel so miserable. Oh, I got to tell you, one thing I was watching, and I'm still not done yet. I'm almost done during my whole urinary tract infection, was the Twilight series. I didn't see it back in the 2000s and early 2010s. So, I like vampires and crap like that. So it's like, anyway, I'll watch it. Yeah, I've been entertained by Twilight. So I think we're on the last one right now, where she becomes a vampire, and that governing board of vampires ran by like Dakota Fanning in Italy are coming out to mess with the vampire family and stuff. So that's what I'm on right now. I think that's the last one. So I'm always gonna remember Twilight with the bladder infection. It's one and the same. And the song I'm working on right too, I've been working on the whole time I've had the bladder infection too. I'm always going to associate it with that. So anyway, speaking of new song, next Friday we got a new song dropping. It kind of goes back to an old school kind of 90s Love Spirals downward sound, sort of, on this one a little bit. I'll talk more about it later, but yeah, I'll probably play it for you guys next week on Friday. It's called Drift. Or is it Drift Begins? I forgot. But anyway, I'll show that for you guys. I'll show it to you guys next week. Let's see. Yeah, sounds like maybe a stomach bug, huh? Metalhead. Slept a lot today and you've been to the bathroom a lot today. If you've been to the bathroom a lot too, do you think it could be a bladder or urinary tract infection? Because that was one of the telltale signs for me that I had something that seemed to be beyond a cold or flu. I just could tell my urination cycles were all messed up, and once I got like a fever, but it didn't relate to anything like a cold, I knew there's some infection going on. I got to go get that checked out. So hope you're feeling better, and hopefully it'll just go away soon. Hopefully you don't have an infection, because that's no fun going through a round of antibiotics like I just did. Oh, New Year's Eve. Yeah, Uncle. Yeah, we're from the South. My mom's family's from the South, like yours, Uncle. So yeah, black-eyed peas have been a part of my family's traditions since as far as I can remember. I didn't like them when I was a kid. My mom had to bribe me. I think she gave me some money, like, I don't know, a quarter or $1. I forgot to eat some black-eyed peas every New Year's Eve. Now I love them. Yeah, Angie likes them too. So yeah, I got to stock up on those for this New Year's Eve. Yeah, anyone else's family from the South like me and uncles are. Yeah, but yeah, black-eyed peas are a thing. But I just like them in general. But yeah, I love them now. I bet my mom couldn't even imagine how many black-eyed peas I eat now. Let's see. Nikki asks, yellow split peas and green. Is there a taste difference? I can't say I've had as many yellow split peas in my day, so I couldn't tell you. I'm more familiar with the green peas. Remember a couple weeks, was it last week or the week before, Angie made me split pea soup? That was so awesome. Yeah, I should have that again. Did I see your comment, Carmichael? Let me see if I see. Oh, about foods I might miss. Your thing is you mostly miss the convenience. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Just going out and grabbing any old fucking thing. That's what Angie and I say. Like, we go to Disneyland, we see all these people there. They'll just put anything in their mouths. They don't think about it. They don't think about, like, if it came from an animal or not. They don't think about if it's, like, good for you or not. Is it high in saturated fat or whatever? They don't think. They just put anything in their mouth. These people throw anything in their mouth, whatever it is. As long as they eat a rock or something, they'll put it in their mouth. So I know what you're talking about there. Just, just without thinking at all, just put anything in your mouth, anything that you like, I should say. You won't put anything, but if you don't like, say, like, green beans or broccoli, you won't put that in your mouth, but you put anything else in your mouth. So I know what you mean. That's what you miss. I get that. That's one thing that you really can't have as a vegan or plant-based eater. And thank God, like, sites like Happy Cow or apps like Happy Cow exist. You can do a lot of research there, find vegan options at places. So yeah, you don't have the exact level of convenience that meat eaters have, But it's not that hard now compared to how it was like before, like, the internet got big and stuff like that. It's pretty easy now, but it's not as brain dead, brainless as what meters just take for granted for their everyday lives. Yeah, Fu was missing out on some toilet talk there, late model, huh? Yeah, and sustainably by Sam recommends to Carmichael. Yeah, just you can ask them or recommend it to them if the stores might not be aware of it. And hopefully, you're talking to someone that's in charge of like ordering or can relay the information to the persons in charge of that. Yeah, it's a good way to look at it. Late model, the glass half empty or half full. In your case, it's half full. You actually don't miss the convenience because it keeps you from eating random junk food. Absolutely, there is a good thing about just not being able to put any old thing in your mouth. Absolutely. Let's see, what else you guys talk about? Yeah, what are you talking about there, Heidi? AJ told you how they live in the dark, such troubling conditions for so long and scary. It sounds like veal or something. Let me see what you're talking about there. Those mole people? You're talking about people like abusing moles? Wow. Humans. What's that, BK Flex? You miss nothing about being a meat eater. You live in a small village in Mexico, so truly your choices are limited, and still you're able to find plants, right? So yeah, I hate these excuses that people give me, like, well, what if someone lives on the fringes of society, like out in the wilderness, or like not in a major population area. I go, I don't know, I can't speak to that. I've never done that, but I suspect they still have stores and markets and stuff like that, and you could decide, hey, I'm gonna get these plants instead of these animal products. Mole people? Wait, what are mole people, AJ? Is it people that raise moles or something like that? Or people that themselves are kind of like analogous to moles. They sit in the dark or something. Let me know. Blood rose, yeah, MSG. That was why. That's one of the banned ingredients for the low bladder irritant diet for the past week. So anything with MSG is off the table. They live in tunnels. They're humans. Why do they live in tunnels for? Are they homeless? Or are they people that choose to live in tunnels? I have no idea what you're talking about. Seriously. Why do they live like moles for? Is it like they're doing it for some romantic idea of something? Are they doing it intentionally, or is it unintentional? Let me know. Yeah, what's up with the mole people? This is news to me. Okay, homeless. Oh, okay. They're not doing some kind of fantasy. Oh, this is how my carnivore ancestors lived or something like that. Okay. I didn't know. I have no idea. If they're homeless, I'm not going to pick on them or anything like that because their choices are way more limited. Okay, it's a whole community, and oh no, not romantic. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it. Yeah, there's nothing romantic about being homeless. Let's see, V Lamb. Yeah, totally. The little island near Hong Kong they live on has virtually zero. Well, you live in Hong Kong, but not on the mainland. The little island you live on has virtually zero vegan options. But I just strengthens your resolve and staying vegan. Yeah, because when you get down to it, no matter what culture you're talking about, and no matter how many vegan or how few vegan options or restaurants there are, the bottom line is people still make food with plants. Yeah, sure, they love to combine it with animal products all the time more than we want, but still, there's got to be plants. There's no society that's just carnivore or something like that. So there's always plants, and you have to look around. Every culture, Mexican food, there's tons of plants. Chinese, Asian food, there's tons of plants. You just got to find a way to get just the plants, But yeah. Do I try to eat with the seasons? Well, when it comes to certain fruits like cherries, yeah, 100% eat with the seasons. When the cherries are at the farmer's market, that's the only time of the year now I still go to the farmer's market. I load up 30, 40 bucks worth of cherries each week for maybe 4, 5, 6 weeks or so. And then in the fall, we look for a certain kind of California mango, like the only commercial native, or I don't know if it's native, but the only commercial California mango, the Keat or keef mango. I forgot, one of the two mangoes. I think it's keef mangoes. Those are in the cherries are like June, and the mangoes are like in August, September, something like that. But yeah, other than that, I don't really eat for the seasons or anything like that. But there's definitely a few things that I like that are seasonal. What are my thoughts about freeganism and veganism? I don't even really know what those are, to be honest with you. Sustainably, I've heard of it. Like, I'm not sure what the ethical principle of veganism is, how it combines veganism with free. Like, what's the overriding principle? That you're against animal cruelty and exploitation, or that something's free? Because for me, animal cruelty and exploitation is non-negotiable. If something was free, I don't give a shit if it was free. If it violates my ethical, moral principles, I have a problem with it. So I'm not sure. I don't really understand. I'm just asking. I'm not sure where the ethical lines are drawn in either of those. In fact, I'm not even sure what the second one is you typed in there. So sounds like you know more about that by me, but than I do. But I'm vegan. I'm just vegan. I'm against animal cruelty and exploitation. I don't try to make it more complicated or combine it with other things. Other than I personally try to eat it in a kind of sort of healthier than maybe normal average way, but that's just my personal preference. I don't push it on people. I don't expect people to do that. I think it's cool if they do that, but it's no rule or anything like that. But yeah, I'm just a vegan. I'm against animal cruelty and exploitation. Couldn't be simpler than that. It's weird how a lot of people try to really make it way more complicated than it has to be, like adding all this other stuff onto it. Like, no, it's about the animals. That's what veganism is, about the animals. It's not about me. It's not about my fantasies and dreams and hopes and trying to combine it with other movies. No, it's about the animals. Don't eat the animals. Don't exploit the animals. Super simple. That's cool. Yeah, if you can find free food. My thing, though, is I just got over a bladder infection, a urinary tract infection that I am pretty damn sure I got from eating some spoiled food, specifically a vegan almond milk mocha. I have zero desire to eat any questionable food anytime for the rest of my life now. I never want another urinary tract or bladder infection again. I never want to eat any spoiled or rotten food for the rest of my life. Now I've learned guys, just remember, anytime your tongue or whatever, your taste buds detect something rotten, spit it out. I don't care where you're at. Don't swallow it and say, "I wasn't that much." No, just get rid of it. You don't want to put any bacteria in your body, because that could lead, as it did in my case, into an infection. So no, I'm not cool with that. I mean, if you don't mind that risk of getting some kind of sickness from eating like free food, cool. If you trust it, if you can smell and detect nothing wrong and you're cool with it, you can go for it, but I don't see any need for a vegan to have to do that. But if you want to do it, totally cool. As long as it's not, it doesn't violate your moral principles, as long as you don't think free overrides animal cruelty and exploitation ethics, as long as you have the morals straight, I'm cool with it. I wouldn't recommend it to other people, but if you do it, I'm not going to try to stop you, other than forewarn you that you could get a little illness of some kind like I got, or worse than a little illness. That's why I said sustainability by Sam. You can draw the line where you want about the not expired thing, because I didn't think my milk was expired. I don't know why it went so bad so quickly. So, trust your senses if you're going to do that kind of thing. Even if you're not going for like dumpster diving food or anything like that, even if it's food in your refrigerator, food that you bought, like I did with my almond milk mocha thing, sniff it. Trust your senses. If your senses tell you something's off, whether you bought it or it's free, get rid of it. Throw it away, spit it out, move on. Yeah, I used to eat some of the Abe's cornbread. We got one just this year from Whole Foods, just for the hell of it, because we haven't had it for years. But I'm kind of with you, Late Mod. I'm more like you. I'm just kind of picky with foods, especially particularly old food too. And you got that from too many years in commercial kitchens, so you see how food gets kept and can go bad. So anyway, Wow, VLAM, you thought eating spoiled food strengthens your digestive system? Well, maybe it does. I don't know, but it also could fuck up your diet. It could give you an infection too. So I guess it's a two-edged sword. You know, it could go either way. It's a risk I don't want to take. I never want to get another urinary tract infection. You know, I just don't. It was not fun. Was not cool. Now I have to deal with like the after effects of these antibiotics. You know, I won't be able to play my sports for a while at risk of tendon injuries. So I just don't want to go through this again. It was not fun. I'm just lucky I didn't have many responsibilities. Like my mom wasn't sick. I didn't have to go help her much or anything like that. I'm lucky. You know, I was able just to pretty much stay home, lock in with a good diet thanks to Angie, and you know, just lock in on resting, hydrating like a mofo, and just taking my antibiotics and getting healthier and watching Twilight. What, VLM? You once drank fizzy coconut water and you thought it was pretty nice, and you found it's not supposed to be fizzy, huh? Yeah, I've had coconut water a few times. I don't remember it being fizzy. I remember it having a nice sweet tang or something like that. But yeah, it would be good for me to get something like that right now. Actually, get some electrolytes, and I'm starting to look forward to like eating some more like probiotic foods, which again they're good for your probiotic situation, but kind of bad, and they're often like you know, they're not the most bladder friendly foods. But I think now I can start looking at getting some like non-spiced kimchi or sauerkraut or something like that, get some probiotics in my body. So I'll be looking at doing that over the next few days. Ooh, yeah, mold, Allison. Yeah, mold. Yeah, don't mess with mold, man. Mold is bad. Yeah, sustainably by Sam. If you're gonna do that, yeah, it's about using your discernment, use all your senses that nature gave you to see if it's still edible and safe. Yeah, I believe anyone can get a UTI, Uncle. Yeah, bacteria gets in your system there. Yeah, you'd be infected. Yeah, it would have been good if I had some coconut water over the past few weeks, to be honest with you. Yeah, because that was like the most important thing to take with my antibiotic. The one that causes the tendon injuries thing is water. You got to stay super hydrated. So I was just pounding tons of water with that ciprofloxacin. Yeah, V. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna make some kimchi or sauerkraut. I just might buy some store-bought stuff because you have to wait a few days for it to like start fermenting and stuff like that. So I know Angie knows a Korean kimchi brand that has like no spice or something like that. So we're gonna, I forgot what market has it. Was it Whole Foods maybe or Sprouts? We'll find it. But yeah, we'll go get some of that soon. No, I'm not a big fan of kombucha, and I'm pretty damn sure that's not bladder friendly. It sounds really acidic and spicy or something like that. I remember it's like, ooh, kind of rough on the stomach. So, no, not a big kombucha fan. So, if I want to get some probiotics, I'm definitely going to go down the kimchi slash sauerkraut route. But yeah, even when I'm super healthy, I don't remember kombucha really like jiving well with my stomach. So I'm gonna go with stuff that's that historically has worked out well for my stomach. I make it sound like I have a long going stomach issue. No, I'm just going. I just know what foods like feel good in my belly, and kombucha is not one of them. Other than that, I have a really strong stomach. I don't really have a condition, even though I have one right now for the short term because I'm trying to eat as many bladder friendly foods as possible for the next few days, as I have been eating for the past week or so. Do you ever experiment with playing heavy rock music? Yeah, it's easy to do. I just turn on. I mean, depends what you consider heavy rock. I mean, I use heavy distortions for my solos. I the last couple songs, my vintage Big Muff down there that was doing the solos. I have other like high sustain, high gain pedals and stuff too. So yeah, when I'm playing, I'm usually not playing hard rock. I sound more like David Gilmour or Pink Floyd with sustainy guitar stuff than like like a shredder or something like that. Playing super fast. I'm playing like cool, nice phrasings, really melodic note choices and stuff like that. As opposed to like trying to play like Yngwie Malmsteen or Steve Vai or Joe Satriani or something like that. Let's see. Oh, hey, hindsight, I don't remember you tonight. One time you cooked tofu from your George Foreman grill. We used to have one of those, and put wow, I don't know what that is, and gives it a sulfur eggy smell, and immediately got sick. Huh? Wow. I don't even know what that kamala namak is. Wow. Huh? Huh? Is that a spice or something? Interesting. But yeah, while I was sick, I had tofu, and Angie flavored it with turmeric. I was telling the guys, and it was delicious. I want to have her make it like that again. Let's see, Brittany. A few weeks ago, you were on an antibiotic too, with a pain reliever. I had because to use in your ear because you got an outer ear infection in both ears caused by your eating a Rice Krispie treat. What was wrong with the Rice Krispie treat? Did it go bad or something like that? Interesting. I didn't know you can get a ear infection from food. Tell us more, Brittany. Like I'm tripping. Like what happened to you there? Wow, it's kind of blowing my mind. Okay, black salt. Okay, thanks, AJ. I didn't know that was another, like the Indian name for black salt. Huh. I didn't know salt could make you get sick like that. Interesting. Like going pooping and barfing. Wow, it's horrible. No, I didn't realize. You told me this years ago. I totally forgot. Prince wrote a song for PETA. It's called Animal Kingdom. No, I'll have to remember to check that out. Huh. How was Prince when it came to like being vegan or vegetarian? I mean, to write a song for PETA, it seems like, they just wouldn't have just any person that's famous like Prince do. It seems like they'd have some kind of connection to what PETA's about. Let me know. I didn't know Prince was like vegan or vegetarian. If he was, let me know. I'm curious. Okay, saying Brittany, specifically a butter in that Rice Krispie treat. Oh, actual dairy butter that had gone bad or something like that gave you an infection? Wow. Yeah, I can't say it's the animal product's fault because for me it was a plant-based dairy, a vegan milk almond mocha that got me sick too. I probably would have been more gnarly bacteria from the animal-based one, I imagine. Okay, I'm just trying to read what you guys are saying right now. I'm trying to catch up. I'm kind of lost what you guys are talking about right now. So my bad if I seem like I'm totally lost because I kind of am. What are you guys talking about? I'm totally not following. I'm not tracking. AJ, you had a ton of snow today? Wow. We were having like awesome weather. It's like, it's been pretty nice. Like it was like in the 70s, like during Thanksgiving. It was a beautiful day here yesterday. I don't think I even got out yesterday. I should have. I spent most of the morning making our kitchen nice, so Angie would have a nice area to prepare all our great foods. I cleaned off our dining table, which was just piling up with all sorts of crap, like clothes around the chairs, paperwork from old mail I needed to deal with, all my dumb papers from like the prescriptions I was getting and the doctors. It's all getting crazy. So I spent a lot of yesterday morning just cleaning up, making our house nicer. And Angie, took advantage of the nice clean kitchen and made us some awesome food. Ooh, good point, Samuel. Yeah, that pepper is not supposed to make you sick, but it's being tampered with if you bought it over the mails like in Amazon. Ooh, why are people tampering with it for? Yeah, chia seed pudding sounds good. I think that would be okay with my low bladder irritant diet. Yeah, West Coast been kind of mild, huh, late model? Yeah, we're lucky. Yeah, winter is definitely around the corner. The storm was supposed to be hitting around now, like a week ago. It said it was going to rain this weekend, but apparently the storm took a inside track. It's instead of hitting the West Coast, it drifted more inland and like to more like Nevada, Utah, or something like that. So we're gonna miss out on that because we got a good dose of rain. Remember a few weeks ago? This is weird too. When I was sick, at my sickest, it was the coldest, darkest, rainiest part of the year too. It was just miserable. I'm feeling miserable. It's cold. I'm just feeling weird. I'm going, how much of it is because I have some kind of illness? How much of it is because it's just really cold right now and our house doesn't warm up that much because it's like poorly insulated because it's over like 100 years old. So I was just feeling really weird during all that. Oh man, so you're gonna have like a white Christmas baby, AJ. Well, it should melt by then. Yeah, it's been nice here, Uncle. Yeah, I can't complain for this time of year. You know, I'm glad we got all the rain when we did, so hopefully there won't be like a big wildfire danger come like January if there's some like windstorms like what happened this year. Hopefully the ground's a little, wet and plants aren't all like dried out and stuff like that. So hopefully that's good for us. We could always use the rain here on the West Coast too. And then we got some beautiful sunshine after all that. It's kind of weird. Yeah, as soon as the sun started becoming more abundant, that's when I started healing up too. It's weird. I don't understand. But anyway, careful. How was I talking about being careful, Slate Model, or were you talking to someone else there? Mohammed, where's Mohammed at? Let me see if I can find Mohammed asking questions. I see AJ talking to Mohammed saying, Mohammed, you can be vegan without eating beans, but I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, if you it's funny though. I mean, there's like dozens and dozens of beans. Like you have the traditional like black, white, brown beans. Then there's like different kinds of beans, like ones that other legumes that seem like from a whole different family, like say chickpeas and lentils and stuff like that. Legumes. I don't think there's any person. I could be wrong. I'm not a medical doctor, but I don't think people are allergic to all beans. I think it's just certain ones. And this is why if you have an allergy like that and you really want to eat legumes, I would suggest talking to a dietitian about this and figure out which legumes you're good with. I bet you're not allergic to all legumes. Heavy rock like Nirvana stuff. No, I never really tried to learn Nirvana songs or anything like that. No. I respect them. I respect Kurt Cobain and his visionary ness, but no, I don't think I've really learned any Nirvana tunes over the years. Back then, when Nirvana was getting popular, is when it was when my music was like taken off. So I was kind of in my thing. I was in my silo. I was still kind of in that silo of like ethereal music or whatever. I wasn't really into like heavy like music like that, distortion all the time kind of thing. I'm still not seeing Mohammed's comments. This is weird. Let me scroll up a little bit more. Wow. Okay, about Prince. I was asking hindsight about that. So Prince was deeply spiritual. You can tell in the lyrics of that song. He was vegetarian. He made sure his jackets weren't made out of leather. That's awesome. That's the one thing that pisses me off. Like how people just don't give a crap. I see all these musicians like wearing leather jackets, or just non-musicians wearing leather jackets just to have a fashion thing going on. It's like, why? Why don't you care at all about animals? You don't care about eating them. At least you could think about what you're wearing. No, it's like how I was saying, your average person just put any old thing in their mouth, and that same average person can just wear whatever the hell they want. It must be wonderful, huh? Just to not think about all this stuff in life. Just eat whatever you want, wear whatever you want. Just the only thing you think about, how does it make me feel? Do I feel good when I wear this jacket? Do I feel good when I eat this meat? It's just nothing to think about, just other than yourself and how it makes you feel. I can't imagine living like that. Oh, thanks for the super chat, Peter. What RFK isn't recommending to eat beans anymore? What, like he wants to recommend them as like from the dietary guidelines or something like that? What are you talking about? Like, why would beans need to be removed from anything? Oh, there's Muhammad once. You have G6PD. I don't know what that is. So eating any beans and legumes will kill your blood cells because lacking the enzyme. Hey, you sound like a medical condition. You do have a medical condition there. Assume you're being upfront and sincere about that. So yeah, don't get our advice here. None of us are qualified to answer a question of such complexity as what you're talking about there. You need a specialist. I would recommend speaking with a plant-based dietitian. If you want, I can give you a recommendation to a place that has vegan, plant-based medical doctors, gastroenterologists, and dietitians, all in staff, all under one roof, one practice, and they can get you the right people to talk about to plan a proper meal that's going to work out for you. That's beyond me. I'm a music producer, and I don't think anyone else here has the kind of training and experience to tell you exactly how to go about that. It sounds like, yeah, a condition that you need to have someone that knows what they're talking about, have a diet planned around that. Just like me this week with my low bladder irritant diet. I had to have a special diet kind of planned around that. Fortunately, it's not as complex as what you had there. It's like, just had to find foods that are known to be bladder irritants and avoid them this week. Yeah, I gotta have some just egg. I gotta see what kind of ingredients are in there besides the mung bean, AJ, because I'm enjoying the times when we find just egg on sale. Yeah, like you said, just put some black salt on it. Tastes exactly like eggs, and it has more protein than eggs do. That's awesome how they have that to hold against people who think that, oh, where am I getting my protein? Well, just eggs got more than your regular eggs. Oh, thanks, Uncle Bodie and Jojo. They're doing good. My little babies. But yeah, Mohammed, definitely talk to someone more knowledgeable about us, that knows about your condition, or at least can consult with a doctor about your condition. Oh, time to color your dog, Carmichael. That sounds nice. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go sit with my babies. Oh, it's about time. It is about time, guys. Almost time here. Any last minute questions before your cult leader wanders off into the night and joins his wife and his little babies and watches the last half of the Lakers game tonight? Let's see. Yeah, the government is backward, Peter. You got it right. Our government's backward. If they indeed want us to not eat healthy foods and slam down saturated fats and raw milk, unpasteurized milk. Oh God, I don't want to get off on that right now. Yeah, let's call it a night, guys. Tonight was fun. We kept it chill. No one really came to debunk veganism, except for that one YouTube fake moderator person. I don't know what his or her ultimate end game was. Maybe just to come and troll and have fun. Who knows? But anyway, thanks for timing them out, Uncle, because they weren't up to any good. We know what it's like. We've been doing this so long, guys. We can tell someone who has bad intentions right away. They kind of announce themselves without saying as much. Like, hey, look at me. I'm up to some crap, So I'm glad you guys can sniff them out as quickly as I can. Maybe quicker, because I don't always see them right away. So thanks for handling that. Yeah, if they have good intentions and they're anti or against vegan and they have some good intentions, they want to enter in like a good faith discussion, yeah, we'll let them speak. But if they're just going to come here and troll and waste all of our time, think of all us here, all of our time's getting wasted. Multiply that by like 30, 40, 50 people. That's a lot of time wasted collectively. So I'm glad we got rid of that person. Thanks for the luau, Ryan. You're welcome. Aloha. Yeah, thank you. Thanks to everyone. I want to give a big thanks to Peter and Harley Tin Man, and to Sustainably by Sam, and Vegan Metalhead, and AJ. I thought I saw AJ. Yeah, where'd AJ's? There's AJ. Thank you guys for the super chat tips, guys. Much appreciated, and thank you also to Sustainably by Sam for becoming our newest member. So thanks so much for joining us here. Always good to get some new happy fams and just channel viewers on board. So thanks. I didn't say hi to everyone like Linda, but thanks everyone for being here with us. Next week, I plan to have a new video. Peter keeps sending me new ideas, but I already think the next video title of mine shall be Paul Saladino and Russell Brand Debunk Veganism Together. So we'll see. I'll go look through some of these videos that Angie forwarded me that these two clowns made about veganism being all horrible and stuff like that. And it'll probably be my next vid, guys. So thanks everyone for being here with me and being part of my healing journey here off this infection. I'm feeling better, and you guys are making me feel even better than that. So thank you so much. I have a lot to be grateful for, and I hope you guys all had a great, or at least a good Thanksgiving day. It's, you know, it's kind of weird for us vegans sometimes. We didn't go see family, just kept it simple. So hopefully you guys had more fun than we did. But I had a great time with Angie. She made us great food, and I wouldn't have traded it for the world. So anyway, guys, yeah, that's it. So stay tuned. Oh, I forgot to play Angie's. Okay, promise me, I'm not going to do it right now, but watch the short that Angie made on YouTube, the YouTube shorts. You guys know how to find it. You can see what we had for Thanksgiving. You see me giving it the bite of approval, all happy. Angie, when she was editing the video, she said, "Oh, you look so happy here, Ryan. I'm so happy for you because you look so unhappy for so long." You know, go, "Yeah, good. Yeah, I was happy yesterday. I was genuinely happy on Thanksgiving, guys." So thanks so much, and thanks for making me happy tonight. Hopefully I made your night a little happier too, guys. So I'll see you next week. New video, probably Tuesday or Wednesday, probably Wednesday, and another live stream Friday, guys. So until then, remember, it doesn't suck being vegan. Oh, I forgot to thank Peter and Uncle for being my awesome moderators. Thanks so much, guys. All right, so until next week, remember, bye, guys. It doesn't suck being vegan.